Hello, my name is Melissa Johnson. I'm the lay leader for our missions and outreach programs at Hyde Park United Methodist. I'm here today to first thank you for your faithful generosity and support of our mission and outreach programs. It's through your gifts that Hyde Park United Methodist and our mission and outreach partners are making an impact on our community, both near and abroad. Throughout the coming weeks, we'll be shining a spotlight on a few of our mission partners. I think you'll be inspired to see how God is working through these programs to change lives in our community here at Hyde Park, in Tampa Bay, and beyond. Today, we'll hear from Kavarius Norton from Feeding Tampa Bay. Before we hear from him, I do want to share a couple of important facts. Currently, 1 in 7 adults and 1 in 4 children in Hillsborough County are facing food insecurity, meaning they lack consistent access to healthy meals. Many have visited a food bank in the past year. Not surprisingly, 93% of food banks in the U.S. have seen an increase in demand since March. And it can be anyone we know, singles, families, students, coworkers, young or old, facing food insecurity. It could be the result of a medical issue, a layoff, a family emergency that changes a person's economic situation. But also, many working adults are struggling to afford adequate food. Feeding Tampa Bay is leading the movement to end hunger in our community. They provide approximately 10 million meals per month to people in 10 local counties. Let's hear more from Kavarius.
My name is Kavarius Norton, and I was born and raised in Tampa, Florida. And I have 5 kids. I have a beautiful wife. I work with Feeding Tampa Bay. I've been working now coming up on 2 years. January, I make 2 years. Well, I first heard about Feeding Tampa Bay through Kelly Sims. She works for Feeding Tampa Bay. They brought me out to, volunteer to see if I liked it, the job, if it's something that I would like to do. And, I fell in love. I got hired on at the development team overseeing the volunteers. I did that for 1.5 years, and an opportunity came. It presented itself for me to get a CDL. They started a program, it's called the Fresh Force program, and they do CDL, culinary, and warehouse. So I was interested in doing a CDL. They pushed me through. I got the CDL. Now I've been driving for them for like 6 months now. Feeding Tampa Bay, they do a lot. They do a lot. We cover everybody. We cover the kids. We cover the homeless. We cover the elderly. Through the pandemic, we started this thing where we deliver hot meals to like senior citizen homes and different places like that. They do like different food drives around the city. They set up, food drives, the community. Anybody can come up and get, a hot meal or fresh produce or meat or anything. We have agencies, over 500, maybe 600 agencies that come to Feeding Tampa Bay, and they get the food and take it back to their community. We deal with 10 counties, whether it's a church or soup kitchen or anything like that. They distribute the food back out into the community. And, aside from that, they have Trinity Cafe. It's 2 of them up and running. We have a 3rd one we're working on. It's set up like an actual restaurant. You can come in and feel at home or feel like you're in an actual restaurant and get served nice hot food, and it's really good food. Feeding Tampa Bay is one of those organizations that's really helping people. Like you be on the outside looking in, you don't really know, but I'm on the inside looking out, and I know, that their heart is really set in the right place. It's not just give me. They actually putting back out into the community, helping people, and that's through food, that's through financial, giving them jobs, giving them opportunities. So yeah, y'all chose wisely, and we really appreciate it.
As Kavarius said, we have many neighbors right here in our community who are hungry. I'm reminded of today's scripture, Luke 10, where we read about the familiar story of the Good Samaritan, which Jesus uses to teach a man about compassion. A Jewish man was traveling on the road from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he was attacked by bandits. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him up, and left him half dead beside the road. By chance, a priest came along, and when he saw the man lying there, he crossed to the other side of the road and passed him by. A Levite walked over and looked at him lying there also, but he also passed on the other side. Then a despised Samaritan came along, and when he saw this man, he felt compassion for him. Going over to him, the Samaritan soothed his wounds with olive oil and wine and bandaged them. He then put the man on his own donkey and took him to an inn, where he took care of him. The next day he handed the innkeeper 2 silver coins, telling him, "Take care of this man. If his bill runs higher than this, I'll pay you the next time I'm here." After telling this story, Jesus asked, "Now which of these 3 men would you say was a neighbor to the man who was attacked by the bandits?" The man replied, "The one who showed him mercy." Then Jesus said, "Yes, now go and do the same." Today's scripture is so relevant to the very current needs of our community. It's certainly a reminder of Jesus teaching us to offer compassion to our neighbors. I believe there are 3 lessons we can take away. First, the Good Samaritan was willing to get involved. The Samaritan stopped and treated the injured man's wounds. He took him to an inn and cared for him throughout the night. The Samaritan could have said to himself, "I give regularly to my church or temple. I've done my part." But he didn't. He stopped and put God's love into action. The priest and the Levite might have felt compassion for the man on the road, but they did nothing. The Samaritan, though, not only felt compassion, but physically helped the victim. Second, the Good Samaritan dealt with racism. Jews and Samaritans hated each other. They were mortal enemies. And even though this man was considered a despised Samaritan, he rose above such labels to care for a fellow human being. He chose to ignore the fact that he was hated for his race. He simply acted with compassion. Third, the Good Samaritan was generous. The Samaritan didn't know how long the injured man would be laid up. I'm guessing because the text said that the attack left him half dead, it could be a prolonged stay. The well-being of this stranger was more important than the Good Samaritan, than whatever the cost might be. I would like to share 2 opportunities for us to get involved and show compassion to others and be generous with our time and gifts. First, Feeding Tampa Bay needs volunteers. They are working hard to ensure our neighbors have the food they need. You can visit the website feedingtampabay.org for more information about volunteering. Second, in just a few weeks, on Friday evening, October 23rd, as part of our Fall Family Fun Night event, you are invited to participate in a food drive to collect donations for Feeding Tampa Bay. We'll be collecting canned goods, boxed goods, and more. You can learn more about this at hydeparkumc.org. I encourage you to consider how God is calling you to follow Jesus' instructions, go and do the same, as the Good Samaritan, and continue to make his love real for our neighbors.